Afcon 2027 question marks on Kenya's preparations, and now CAF President Patrice Motsepe to meet FKF officials amid leadership crisis and Afcon 2027 preparations. This is the article that we're looking at today, courtesy of Pulse Sports, so stay tuned. CAF President Patrice Motsepe is set to hold key football meetings in Kenya as attention grows around the country's Afcon 2027 preparations. Confederation of African Football CAF President Patrice Motsepe is scheduled to meet with key Kenyan football officials amidst ongoing leadership disputes within the Football Kenya Federation FKF and preparations for the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations Afcon. Patrice Motsepe's visit is part of the Africa Forward Summit, which will be held in Nairobi on Monday and Tuesday, May 11th and 12th. While he is slated to address the summit on Monday afternoon regarding the state of African football, his discussions with Kenya's top officials are drawing significant attention. The country, set to co-host the 2027 AFCON with Uganda and Tanzania, is grappling with a severe internal power struggle. The local football governing body has fractured into two opposing factions, casting a shadow over its preparations for the continental tournament. Kenya is amongst the three nations that will host next year's Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations AFCON in June to July 2027, the biggest sporting event on African soil, a statement from CAF read. Dr. Motsepe will also hold several meetings with senior officials from Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda on the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations 2027 preparations. Meanwhile, the conflict erupted last month when FKF President Hussein was purportedly removed from his position by members of the National Executive Committee (NEC) in a meeting led by his deputy McDonald Mariga. Mohammed faces accusations of involvement in the loss of 42 million Kenya shillings, which was allegedly paid as brokerage fees to an unlicensed firm for the African Nations Championship (CHAN) license last year. Mohammed has vehemently contested his ouster, labeling it illegal. He argues that under Article 38 of the FKF Constitution, only the president has the authority to convene a NEC meeting, rendering the coup d'etat invalid. Meanwhile, Mariga maintains that he is the legitimate acting president. The situation has been further complicated by legal interventions. Both the Sports Dispute Tribunal (SDT) and the High Court have issued rulings that temporarily block Mariga's faction from enforcing the resolutions passed during the contentious NEC meeting, granting Mohammed a reprieve. In recent weeks, the two leaders have been locked in a public power struggle, issuing conflicting directives in an attempt to assert control over the federation's operations. As this tug-of-war continues, Kenyan football fans are concerned that the infighting could disrupt the local organizing committee (LOC) responsible for AFCON preparations. Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Mvurya recently restructured the committee led by Nicholas Musonye to include members of the NEC, as well as both Mohammed and Mariga. Yes, sir. So that is the situation when it comes to our preparations for AFCON 2027. As it has been highlighted, a power struggle within the Football Kenya Federation. It is looking bad, but will this affect the preparations of the local organizing committee (LOC) for AFCON, and how so? Because AFCON isn't that far. Drop your comments what you think about this.